Now, for nearly 70,000 Australians who rely on federally funded in-home care, a huge change is underway and has left many seniors confused and angry. A new scheme called Consumer Directed Care is supposed to give people more control over their own care packages, but it's also left thousands questioning complicated funding formulas and fees that can sometimes eat up nearly half of what their packages are worth. This report from Social Affairs correspondent Norman Hermont.
Oh, do this. Come on. Do this, and do this, and do this, and do this, and do this.
For Catherine Clark-Jones, this has been her life for the last 5 years, since her husband John, just 63, was diagnosed with dementia.
You're careful, you can go and sit down and have a pie. Yes?
Well, the guy's got to walk up that end.
Okay, no, but you're right, you can go there.
I think emotionally too, it's been a huge adjustment. As far as the relationship, well, it's a totally different one now. So he's certainly not the man that I married, and he's not the same man who's going to die, not knowing where he is or who he is. Okay. John, I found your belt. It's in the bathroom.
Who?
Your belt.
Like about 66,000 other Australians, John has a federally funded in-home care package. It pays for 16 hours a week of services and visits from care workers to help Catherine look after her husband at home.
There we are. There's your belt.
Since July, packages have changed over to a new program called Consumer Directed Care. It's designed to give greater control to care recipients. But the changes have also revealed just how much money is being taken by the care providers in fees, and the recipients are not happy.
I don't understand why they're taking so much money from his package.
In John's case, his provider says last year he received a care package worth $44,200, but he lost $14,560 of that in fees.
His package basically is being fleeced.
It's been very confusing and very difficult.
In central Victoria, Margaret Wilson was also shocked to learn that almost half of her consumer-directed care package went in fees. She lives on her own with autoimmune disorders and argues more money should be spent on her care needs, not on exorbitant service charges from her provider.
Do you think you're getting your money's worth when you hear that administration fee?
No, definitely not. I can't believe how much it is.
What really's got my goat.
Even those working in the system, such as this case manager who doesn't want to be identified, can't explain why fees are so high.
I don't know. And it's been difficult to actually ask those questions. I think that finance people have said, well, we've done the numbers, that's how it works, that's the cost.
Complaints about high fees in consumer-directed care packages have been growing louder, and the minister who oversaw this transition until last week's cabinet shuffle agrees there are problems.
What's your reaction when you hear some of the fee levels that are out there?
I've got to say, as someone who isn't a recipient of a package, some of them do look beyond the pale. So I would encourage any individuals who think that they're not reasonable to speak up about it.
Margaret Wilson is speaking up about it. One of the biggest costs in her package is the case management fee, $6,500 a year. Many care providers establish minimum hours for case management, whether it's needed or not, billed out at rates of $80 an hour or more.
As a case manager, I can't help when I go out and think, if this was my mum, if this was me, am I okay with the cost that this case management is costing?
It's all about choice. Well, no, it isn't about choice.
Under consumer-directed care, Margaret Wilson is supposed to be able to take on the case management role herself. Her provider says it's not ready yet to hand it over.
I asked them if I could self-manage, and they said that they had no facility in place for me to do that, and it would probably take them 6 months to get that facility in place. And meanwhile, I would have to pay the $18 a day case management fee, which is money out of my package that shouldn't be going.
Do some exercises?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
The in-home care sector is dominated by not-for-profits, and the changeover to a system where the care recipient, the consumer, has control is a huge shift. The peak body that represents providers says they shouldn't be seen as the bad guys in this transition.
There's not enough information out there for clients, not enough information out there for my providers. It takes time to turn the Titanic around. So within that, I think we'd love to see more clarity.
I've got to fix the indemnity up as well.
One thing providers won't apologize for are caveats in some home care agreements that give providers a claim on care recipients' homes to guarantee payment.
That must have been a shock when you saw that.
It was a shock, and I thought it was. I thought it was an error.
It was an error, included in an early draft of a consumer-directed care agreement by mistake. But providers insist there are times when caveats with claims on homes are needed.
In order to offset bad debts, I think there has to be some other methodology to ensure that the providers are getting paid, that the person is receiving their services, and that everybody is actually, getting to the point where they are comfortable with the system.
For Catherine Clark-Jones, that system has been a struggle.
It's a hell road, Norman. It's a hell road. The financials.
John will be fine.
The battles I've had.
What keeps her going are the glimpses of her husband before this disease, when he was a radio announcer.
John, you were doing the racing program, remember? And you interviewed Bob Hawke.
Oh yeah, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's
Yes.
funny. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. John.
But the laughter doesn't last long. John's condition is getting worse. And for his wife, every dollar from his care package spent on fees takes away from in-home care he'll need very soon.